Hello Trailblazers, welcome to our Salesforce video series. In this video, we are just going to see how integration works in Salesforce using REST API. So here we would like to connect with an endpoint where it provides a random joke and we need to get those and just displaying it here. In the same way, whenever we want to do a integration through a REST API to connect our system with any external system, get the data or post the data, so we'll use the same structure. So we will be going to see how to achieve that, and we'll just place that in the LWC to bring it to the UI. So this is our agenda. See, if you see a random joke, if you refresh, a random joke will come from a particular website. So let me show you the class. So REST API mainly have a certain methods like get to get the information, post if you want to post anything or write anything, and put if you want to update anything. And so those methods we will be having in the REST API. And with the get, post and put, we have delete also if we want to do any delete operations, that also we can do. But here we'll take an example of getting the information and just reading it in our Salesforce. So in the same way, Apex, it starts with a class name and the method just inside the method. So it works on HTTP protocol. So we will be just declaring that HTTP, and the request we are just going to store in this request. So this is the endpoint, official joke, random jokes. It will, this system will provide a random jokes. So this is our endpoint. We are setting our endpoint, and then we are setting our method. So we are getting the details. So once we are getting those, we are just storing the response in the HTTP response. So if the response is success, then we are deserializing the response. So for the response will come as a JSON. So for that JSON, we will be deserializing to keep that is in a different variables to display a joke like this. So this is one thing, and hyphen and this one. So how we are structuring that? So setup, we are the JSON response after deserializing, we are keeping in the setup and punchline, and return. We are just concatenating and making sure it is coming in a proper line. We are just keeping like this and returning it. So this one we have embedded in the LWC component. So if you see LWC components, we have a random joke as we see yesterday the structure. So in the HTML we are just displaying the joke, okay, but the connection will be there at the logic. Everything will write in the .js file. If you see here, to connect our LWC component with Salesforce Apex classes, this is the syntax at Salesforce Apex, and joke service is our Apex class, and dot fetch random joke is our method. So that we are fetching and keep it in the fetch random joke thing. So here, whenever this connected callback is whenever a page loads, a component loads, this will trigger. So what we are doing here, we are calling the load joke method. So this method is will triggering this method in the Apex class. So that results will be storing here. So once that store here, see this joke, this dot joke is equal to result. So this result will be displaying in the HTML. And as you know, we have a XML file where we will be seeing a targets where we can place this. In the same way, we are placing that in the home page. We just place in the home page, So if you just edit, you see the components we are just dragging and dropping. If you just edit this page, we can try a lot of examples with post, delete, everything. So if you see, this is a component, LWC component. We are just getting it from the here and just dragging and dropping. So in the same way, you can just create that and you can just drag and drop wherever we want it. So this is how we'll connect our Salesforce Apex classes through LWC components. For example, if you want, we see how to write the new LWC components and do modifications and all, okay? But if you want to update an existing components in the org, see whenever you connect to the org browser will come, go here and just download whatever you want to modify. For example, if you want to modify any LWC, you just need to go to LWC components, Lightning Web Components here, and just download which component that you want to modify and just modify that and deploy it back. So for example, in our case, let's take a joke component, okay? So what is random joke? See, random joke. Let's download this, overwrite, and in the files, you will be getting the random joke thing, and wherever you want to you know apply any modifications, you can apply. See, random joke example, I just modified the HTML, save, just deploying back to the source. So you can just deploy back and it will reflect over there. Okay, so in our case, trailhead, so deploy the source to org, just come to hard refresh, still needs to see here the change that we made it at the HTML random joke example, it is reflecting here. This is how uh, we'll connect the Apex classes to the LWC, and it's a example of a REST API, how we are connecting to the external systems and getting the responses. And the same way you can try posting, deleting, etc. Thank you so much. In our next video, we'll see how to create reports and dashboards. So we'll just touch base on the topic. See you in the next video. Thank you.